from this moment I was seeing the relations between people and what is happening in groups. Therefore it was necessary to learn something about group dynamics. And when I learned now to read notes and music, so I certainly can perceive things which I didn't perceive before.
Does it happen to you to get overbooked, overwhelmed, overscheduled, and how do you react?
Yeah, when I feel overwhelmed, then I need to get certain distance, and which is the best one is for me to first of all sleep over it. It's more than once it happens that I work long at night and then it doesn't make any sense anymore. It's better than to stop, sleep over it, and then look at it in the next morning. And things look different. The next morning, piles are not so high anymore, and problems are not so complex anymore. I really believe in during night you sort things in your mind and next day they look different. So sleeping over it when it gets really complex and difficult. Take distance by talking to another person, taking another perspective to that problem, making a walk, so getting away from the topic. This helps.
How do you regenerate? Because you have a very intense work. Are there some things that help you regenerate more than others?
More than others, one which really helps is half an hour away from Vienna. We created a kind of retreat in the green and close to a lake, which is really the best place to calm down and to recreate and get energy and gain energy again. So this is one of the places where I fill up my batteries.
What was the best investment you did recently, being it time, energy, or money?
A robotic lawnmower.
What's that?
Oh, this lawnmower which runs around, and I can then just sit and read a book or talk to my friends, and I do not have to do this work which is not really necessary to do it yourself. And this robot, in that sense, useful machine, does it for me.
Do you have a name for it?
Robbie.
What is on your bucket list? What would you like to explore, to learn, to visit?
I have to confirm. I have to say that I do not really have a bucket list. What would be on this bucket list? Yeah, traveling with people I like and experiencing places where I haven't been so far, which is certainly on a bucket list. And what else? Probably writing a book.
About what?
Writing a book about experiences I had in my years of as a coach and as a management consultant. I don't know how to write a book and where to start and how to make it an interesting book, but probably this is one of the things on my bucket list.
We could do 400 interviews and then you take the transcript.
Yes. So traveling, writing a book, and becoming a better piano player. Yeah, I tried, and I started a couple of years ago, and it's really hard work, and it's somehow limited by the energy and time I can devote to it. But probably this is something I can then intensify.
You have a piano in your new office, right?
I do, yes, yeah.
And so you have to pass by it.
No, not in the office. But it's a good idea to have a piano in the office.
Put it somewhere where
Which
you cannot escape.
Yeah, which is kind of not only in a self-independent office, also in other offices there should be pianos. Yeah,
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so really making a good place to live and to work. Yeah, and playing music is fantastic. So it's also
Managers, put instruments in your offices.
Yeah, do it. Don't do everything all the same. So sometimes do unusual things. But music is not unusual. Music is the most usual thing in our life. It's gives the rhythm, and everything has a certain rhythm. Also in management, things have to be in a certain rhythm, and the more people are balanced and do it together, then the rhythm gets better, and the results are. And this is, So, music was something I discovered only a couple of years ago. I was not aware of it years before. I was socialized in an environment where music was not so important, and then I discovered this, and this is now one of the pillars which is important for me in my life.
And what changed in that moment and since that moment?
I listened to things which I didn't listen before. Yeah, it's like before it's like group dynamics. I did not know in former times, and at a certain moment in my life, I was aware about group dynamics. Yeah, and from this moment, I was seeing the relations between people and what is happening in groups. Therefore, it was necessary to learn something about group dynamics. And when I learned now to read notes and music, so I certainly can perceive things which I didn't perceive before. So it's so important to sometimes touch new matters in order to see how the world functions and how things are interacting and so.
Beautiful. Is there something I forgot to ask?
Oh, you asked me so many questions. You didn't ask me what I like to eat or whatever, but this is probably not of general interest. So, thank you very much, Simon.
Thank you, Alex, for being here. Well, thank you for watching and listening. And you will find the show notes, as usual, on strategysprints.com. Keep rocking.